All right, darlings. Back by popular demand at the request of all my babies out there. Some of y'all just like to get simply dirty with us here on the KPOD network. Coming to you on the podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weirdos have arrived. Neon handcuffs locked on a velvet beehive, hair full of buzzing conspiracy, dancing with androids. 1, 2, 3, infinity, mixed up, shook up, ghost in the machine, peanut butter polyps in a velvet dream, sex orama glowing in the discount aisle where the freaks come out and the normals go wild. Chrome hot rusting in the acid rain, groove eternal, feel no pain. Falsetto phantom calling my name, twisted tango in the Hall of Fame. Mixed up, shook up, circuits overload, velvet nightmare on a dead end road. Freak parade marching in code, let the weirdness explode. Ooh, baby, Rust never sleeps. Ooh, keeps. Polyester prophet preaching chrome gospel. Boombox sermon in a fossil. Android lovers doing the twist in the wreckage of what we missed. Mixed up, shook up, feel the machine scream. Peanut butter apocalypse, velvet dream supreme.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark side of the podcast. And yeah, we actually got a request. The very first time that we ever actually got a request to play one of my songs again, and it was this one. It was Simply Dirty. So thank you, and we are always happy to oblige. So I appreciate it. The podcast is your home for rational privacy news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial or life advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic libertarian who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original, the redheaded Bella. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
You know what? I'm waiting for the warm up that's supposed to happen over the next 48 hours. I can't wait. How are you tonight, Scott?
It's warmer. I went with a coat tonight, so I didn't have to use the little local space heater. So from a studio standpoint, yeah, we're in much better shape out here. I'm not freezing my ass off. I can locate my testicles. So yeah, I'm just aces. I'm gonna give 2 thumbs up on that. I know where all my gear is. So yeah, if it warms up anymore, I guess I'll start having a or a gnat problem out here again. But I've done the right thing. I left all the spider webs that are showing up everywhere. I left them up there. I'm not taking them down. I have no issue with spiders, but they do eat the bugs. So yay, let's do that. All right, this is me giving back to nature. All right, let me give a little quick Sigia update for Sigia storage update for those who have been curious. We expect, if everything goes well, we expect to be opening up the alpha into a beta on Friday. I think that is correct, assuming everything goes well. Now, all of the default accounts are going to be set. Everybody that's up there, most of you guys were signed up and testing the original version and not the new version. So they're all going to be defaulted out to 50 gigs. So you don't have to horse around with the pay rail. We will handle the pay rail when that goes up. But do us a favor and pack it. I mean, pack it. If we have I remember how many testers we had over there on iOS and Android, but let's say that we pull in 100 testers. At 50 gigabytes apiece, that's like 5 terabytes. Pack it. Now, this data that you're pushing up here right now is test data. We can't see it. It's encrypted. Yeah. But odds are really, really good that we will have to do 1 or 2 more wipes if we make any major changes before the launch. So don't put anything up there that you're afraid of losing. Our network isn't going to lose it. Our redundant storage providers aren't going to lose it because it all goes to Jackal, and you guys know how that works. But we will be wiping data if we have to. And odds are good that we're going to have to. So please keep that in mind. But pack it as much as you can. Stick up there, because I want to spike that little Jackal metric chart, terabytes used. I want to see even us just going into beta and we pushed 5 terabytes up there, just to illustrate what a flywheel will actually do. Now, keep in mind, we're paying for this. This costs us money, costs you nothing. So if you can come up with that much data, which for me, it's not hard at all. I got years worth of videos, but if you can come up with some, fill it up as much as you can get on there so that we can start throwing out that metrics page that Marston made up and just start giving people the finger. I'm very, very much looking forward to that. So if you can help us out, we'd certainly appreciate it. Again, we're estimating Friday. This thing is so stupidly easy to use. I mean, it is beyond easy to use, but we still want feedback. All right. If there's something you would like to see in it, tell us. If there's something that you don't understand, tell us. If there's something that is just not clicking for you, tell us, and we will get it fixed. All right. It's not like we have to deal with overseas or anything like that. I pick up the phone, I call, and it gets fixed. So the more feedback you guys can give us, the better this will work out for everybody. You got anything you want to add on that, Bill?
Now the other thing we've got going is we do actually have a poll running on the Sigia official X account. We definitely want to hear what you guys think about push notifications. Some people get annoyed by them. Some people live for them. Some people, it depends on the day. Some people, just they're not going to mess with them at all. So we want to know where you guys fall, because we want to know if we should actually be, pushing those notifications out. And this is going to be stuff like, you've received a file. We're not going to harass you about 2FA, because why? We're not going to be hounding you to upgrade to the next storage level. We're not going to do any of that. Come on.
No, but that's a really good idea. Hey, pal, can't help but notice that you're at 48 of 50 gigabytes. Maybe it's time to upgrade. That's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea. For me personally,
That can happen in the app itself
sure.
if you try and upload a file that's going to push you over your limit
Yeah.
for the 50 gig plan.
The in-app notifications are not going away. All right, don't want to see them. Don't click the button, and you won't see the notifications. But yeah, it's generally it would be you've received a file, somebody shared a file with you. You look on the app, you'll see a little exclamation mark or whatever saying that there's something there waiting for you. So if you're interested in that, leave them on. If you're not, turn them off. But we do got a poll going out there on X, so we would love to get everybody's viewpoint. So take a look at it. If you follow the at the podcast, then you're going to see it because I did repost it. It's also posted up there on Siggy Official. So we're going to try something a little different tonight, and I have to put this out in the interest of full disclosure. We are not war correspondents, all right? I'm not. Look, man, I spent 26 years of my life doing this, and I've been there in many theaters, many operations, deployments, wars, all that other good stuff. So it does not exactly ring my bell, but it seems a little bit silly for us to come on here tonight with what is going on over there, because this is like day 5. But with what is going on in that region, for us to come over here and talk about Bitcoin pumping 3%, it's just lost. So we want to cover topics that are of interest to folks, and this happens to be one of them. But we're going to change up this format just a little bit. Typically, when I monologue, I'm going to read for 10, 12, 14 minutes and make my point, and then we discuss. I have 5 different things that I want to talk about just in this simple monologue. So I'm going to do my little bit, 2 minutes, 3 minutes per, and then Belle and I are going to discuss it. And we want to hear from you guys too. I already know what I think. Belle knows what she thinks, but we want to know what you think. And the only way that we can figure out what you think is for you guys to go ahead and type it in. So it's a format that we haven't done before. It's going to be a little sketchy. I hope you guys can give us a break on that one because we have not done this format before. But we're going to try to get through it with just as much professionalism as we can. So I'll tell you what, Belle, real quick, take any comment, question, and give shout-outs to everybody who did shout out, and then I'll go ahead and get it started. You're muted.
Yeah, that hasn't happened for a while. Okay, anyway, so we've got Fisherman, we've got Siggy Fan, we've got Politico, we've got Mackenzie, we've got G Torres and Sofa Ninja all hanging out in chat with us tonight.
Yay! At least those are the people who have announced that they're here.
All right. Now, regarding the intro, Fisherman chiming in saying pragmatic libertarian. I think that's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, and that's about all I can get, man. Look, I don't identify with the Libertarian Party. That is the stupidest shit. It's like the Fraternal Order of Anarchists. All right, it doesn't make any sense to me. It seems kind of like an oxymoron. So, as far are you? Well, you must be voting for the Libertarian candidate. No, I'm not. It depends. If he is as ideological as I am, yes, I will throw my vote away and vote for the Libertarian candidate. But for the most part, it doesn't make sense. I mean, by definition, libertarians just want to be left the hell alone. So why would we go to the meetings? It just doesn't make sense. Appreciate that comment. Go ahead, Bill.
All right. And Mel is joining us in chat too. She just chimed in and said, me too. So yeah. All right. So Siggy Fan, regarding data sent up to Siggy storage, I can give you more than 50 gigabytes if you want it.
Well, you know, the fun part is that you can make multiple accounts, bro. All right. Once you have the link and the apps on your phone, we can't stop you. We literally can't even see you. So if you want to make 15 accounts and jam them all with 50 gigabytes, we would certainly appreciate it. If you want to make 20 and give us a full terabyte, we would certainly appreciate that as well. There's a structure that goes on between our file server and Jackal. and we could use some testing on that as well. So also consider this kind of a hardware test, and keep in mind if it seems a little slow, we're still fleshing it out, fleshing out the back end just a little bit. But like 500 images at all at once, we have no issue with that whatsoever. They're going to flow up. We have a rudimentary upload counter. You're going to see where they are, what state the app is in, and all that other good stuff. So, yeah, just try it, man. Look, start taking square pegs and jamming them into round holes, and tell us if it fits. Because if it fits, we did something wrong. All right, and we have to kind of come around and fix that. So, yeah, man, once it's on your phone, dude, you can make as many accounts as you want. We can't stop you. However, oh, no, it's not. Yeah, even the new accounts will be defaulted to 50 gigs, Bell, because that's what we're going to do right now. So even the new accounts will be defaulted to 50 gigs. So, yeah, man, make all of them that you want. All right, we don't care. We want your data. So help us test. We would certainly appreciate it. Bell, carry on, please.
All right, so G Torres talking about notification. If someone sends me a file on Signal, WhatsApp, etc., I want to know as soon as possible. I'm not going to manually check myself.
Okay. Well, there you go. And we're going to take all of this into consideration. Odds are good that we're going to put it in and just make it something you can toggle on or off. That sounds like the easiest way to go with it. It will not be in the initial build. It just won't, man. Look, we have other bigger fish to fry than that. But that's what updates are for. And we like updates. We're big fans because then we can come on here and pump it up. And, oh, boy, you get you excited for what's coming next kind of stuff. So, yeah, if it's not in there yet, I promise you it will be. Bell, carry on.
Sigia fan, I like push notifications from a few select important apps. Most, no.
Yeah, and I am almost defaulted to no, because they even ask you, and we'll do the same thing, would you like to turn on push notifications? And I immediately say no on virtually all of these things. I don't want my phone vibrating at 11 o'clock at night. I just don't care enough about virtually anything. So I default to no. But I understand that, it's not my app. It's our app. So if you guys want them in, we'll put them in. Bell, carry on one more, and then I'm going to go ahead and get cooking on this.
I'm gonna touch again on the notifications. Okay, this is one area Scott and I actually agree because, okay, I get cranky if my sleep is interrupted. I don't want constant notifications from any and everything. So I tend to turn that off. No.
Yeah.
It's not laziness on my part. It is sanity.
Yeah. And, it's not that it wakes me up, because when I go to bed, I am a little bit liquored up and probably high. So it would take a bomb to get me up. So the phone vibrating, it's just the point. I hate knowing that I'm going to wake up to a whole shitload of notifications. I just don't want to bother with it. All right. We'll get to the rest of them, guys. But first, we're going to get to this. Now, if we did this right, Sofa Ninja, there should be 5 videos in here. There should be 5 cut and paste videos that are going to be coming out of this. And that is also kind of the thing and the reason that we're doing this. So anyway, we're changing it up. I apologize for the shiny head. I just got out of the shower, and I'm not going to put powder on so that my head doesn't shine. But nor am I going to wear a ball cap when I'm wearing a coat. All right. I'm not Tom Hanks. So ain't going to happen. But we're going to go in 3 and 2 and 1. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the dark side. So tonight we're diving straight into the abyss. It is 4 March 2026, and the world just crossed a red line that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. This is day 5 of the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran, codenamed Operation Epic Fury, and it's not slowing down, it's accelerating. Naval torpedoes in the Indian Ocean, air supremacy claims over Tehran, assassinations at the very top, Senate showdowns, retaliatory drones hitting American bases. This isn't a skirmish. This is regime change warfare on steroids, and it's unfolding in real time. So buckle up, guys. We're going deep, and again, this is a different format for us, so please give us a little bit of latitude here. We're going to start with something very, very personal to me as a 26-year Navy vet, and we're starting with the shot heard round the world, literally the first of its kind in 81 years. Yesterday, a U.S. Navy attack submarine, quiet, unseen, launched a single, just one, Mark 48 torpedo that ripped through an Iranian frigate, the IRIS Dana, in international waters off Sri Lanka's southern coast in the Indian Ocean. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed it at the Pentagon briefing today, quote, "An American submarine sunk an Iranian warship that thought it was safe in international waters. Instead, it was sunk by a torpedo. Quiet death. The first sinking of an enemy ship by torpedo since World War II." End quote. Video released by the Department of War shows the explosion at the stern, the ship listing, then vanishing beneath the waves. Sri Lankan Navy pulled 30 survivors from oil slicks and debris, seriously wounded. 140 still missing, dozens presumed dead. This isn't just a tactical victory. It is symbolic. Iran's Navy, which was what a regional threat, is now bleeding out far from home, and it's not isolated. Hegseth says the U.S. and Israel have already sunk or struck over 20 Iranian vessels. Trump himself claimed yesterday Iran's Navy is at the bottom of the Persian Gulf. So what's the message? No safe harbor, not even in the Indian Ocean. So what I find interesting about that, Bell, is a couple things. One, we haven't torpedoed another ship since goddamn World War II. All right, it's been a long time. And if you really, really want to know about that, ask Germany, because they were real good at that. I mean, these guys would just absolutely lay waste to us. There was it was actually a Tom Hanks movie. It was one of the first ones, first time I'd ever really seen that. And I'm a big fan of the submarine movies, like Run Silent, Run Deep, and all that stuff. Gray Lady Down, so forth. But he was a destroyer skipper that was escorting troops and supplies and all that stuff across the North Atlantic during the big mess. So it was a really, really good movie. But we haven't really sunk anything via torpedo, at least the U.S. hasn't, in a very, very long time. So this is, if nothing else, symbolic. The Mark 48 torpedo it's we really didn't improve on it too much. It is just a vicious, vicious wire-guided torpedo. We fire them, they don't miss. I mean, it's not like a video game. All right, we literally docked it. The tech's gotten better, is what I'm saying. But the thing that I find interesting about this is I went to X and I went to verify, because I go to X more than anything else. Not because I want to see news, because I want to see bias. And that's what you get on X now. You don't get news reports, man. You get bias, and I'm fine with that. It is what it is. If you want a town square, then you're going to hear dissenting opinions. But the thing that stuck with me the most is the people that were bitching, not that we did it, but that the submarine did not surface to rescue survivors. Now, let me, as a Navy man, let me tell you what actually goes on here. Submarines will not surface outside of friendly ports or outside of our own, borders. We don't do that. A submarine cannot do that. So, and it's actually accepted internationally. And there's actually statutes for this. It's been going on forever and ever. We hit them. We contacted Sri Lanka. We said there's a bunch of guys in the water. Go pick them up. But the submarines are not going to do that. We don't, because the very second that we surface, every satellite in the world knows exactly where the submarine is, what its heading is, what its speed, everything. It knows everything. And the one universal truth about submarines, whether it be fast attacks or boomers, is that we don't stick our head out of the water. We just don't do that. So what happened was perfectly acceptable, even inside of international laws. Everybody's kind of how it is. So while I appreciate the people bitching, well, you sunk them. Why didn't you go pick them up? Where are you going to put them? It's a fast attack submarine. You jerk off. I don't think people quite understand how small these things are. They're not boomers. They're not large. But the big thing is that they cannot stick their head out of the water. We don't do that because everybody in the world is going to know exactly where that submarine is now. Heading, speed, everything. So we don't do that. While I appreciate where you're going, and I do. I'm a Navy man. All right. I have spent more time underway than most of you have sitting on the potty. All right. I've been out there a long, long time. So if my ship got sunk, I would appreciate being picked up. Well, I don't know, Bell. I guess it depends who's doing the picking up. If it's Iran, you know what? I'll just let the sharks get me. It's going to be easier. Trust me. It'll be easier than that. But we don't do that. We simply don't do that. So I would love to hear your guys' comments on this. What do you think? Was the Navy out? Were we out? Were we way off base here? Because in my opinion, as a Navy man, no, we were not off base. And if you wanted to keep that frigate safe, you should have just kept sailing north, man. All right, we're not going to bomb you up in Antarctica or up in the Arctic. You should have just kept sailing north. But international waters are exactly that, international waters. And when an action has been declared, like the one that you are clear that we have and that it's happening, you should maybe hide that ship a little bit better or just get off it because it's coming. And there's really not a lot that you're going to be able to do to stop it. Clearly, Bell. And you know what the funny part is that this is a frigate, and it was designed as a submarine killer. That's what it is. That is exactly what that ship was designed to do, was to blow up submarines. So I'd have to ask you, what would you say you do here? Because now you're a reef. I mean, up until then, you were a sub killer, but now you're a reef. So I just kind of have to ask that question. You got anything you want to add into this, Bell, or should I just simply carry on? Because I could do that as well.
There's one thing that people apparently seem to don't understand too. There's this thing called tactics, and it's a good idea when you are handling an aggressive opponent, and this counts in the game of Battleship too. Come on, let's get real here.
Yeah.
If you sit there and give your location away, it's not gonna end well for you. So why give away your tactics and show everybody under the sun where you are?
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny. Not funny. Look, man, it's a tragedy. Sailors die. Anytime sailors die, I take it to heart because, I'm a sailor. But submarines and what we do out there is just beyond goofy. We will always, and I've spent time there myself, but they do the same to us. Russia does the same to us. We do the same thing to Russia, where we have our fast attacks that are, a lot of ours are sitting out around the Russian military bases, such as Vladivostok or something like that. And we pick up and tail Russian subs all the time. They do the same to us. It's like a little bit of war games. And the whole goal is to try to underhull them. And that means where you're that close, you're in their baffles, they don't know you're there, and you drop down underneath. And we got little cameras up there. We try to take pictures of the underside of their hull so that we can, that's literally what it's called, is underhulling. And they do the same to us. But that's submarine warfare against other submarines. And they're always, it's typically fast attacks. Our boomers are very, very stealthy. And when they go out, man, we go in our position. We sit on the bottom of the ocean for 6 months and we just wait for orders. Fast attacks is a little bit different. So, but it just seems like if you're on heightened alert, and they're coming, America is coming, that we have submarines too. So it just seems like you should maybe be watching those, sonar pods and pinging very, very actively and aggressively. I know it gives away your position, but your masking system gives away your position. So you might as well ping away, particularly if we're out there and we're coming for you. It just seems like you could have maybe been a little bit more attentive there. It would have been a wildly different story, and it actually breaks my heart a little bit how much celebrating there would have been in America if Iran, that frigate right there, actually sank that fast attack submarine. Because if it was the shoe was on the other foot, that it would have been a wildly different story. Oh my God, Iran is winning. They're sinking all of our submarines. The entire U.S. 7th Fleet is in shambles. And oh my God, what's going to happen now? It would have been that way. But because our submarine sank them, it's why didn't you pick up the survivors? Do you really got to ask that question? Do you know how many secrets are sitting on submarines? All the tech, do you know how much is actually going there? And what are you going to do with the survivors? You going to release them after they've seen the complete inside of an American fast attack submarine? Do you think we'll just release them? We'll just let them go now, Belle. Do you think that's the way to go?
I'm going to add another very valid point here. Okay. All of the sailors that were picked up by vessels from Sri Lanka, all of them were injured and needed medical attention. You're not going to get that fast of medical care on a submarine.
No.
It's not going to happen.
We don't have doctors on fast attack submarines. We have corpsmen. We have an E4 corpsman. This is somebody that has very basic medical knowledge. He can put a splint on you, or he can give you a shot when you get syphilis. But as far as actually treating real things, if you got a heart attack, you should really call a doctor, pal. I'm just saying. And when we're talking about serious war injuries, these guys are designed to stop the bleeding, man, and that's it.
Yeah.
But you know what? The good news is that all bleeding stops eventually.
Yes, all bleeding eventually stops. Now, with that being said, again, I don't like hearing about sailors getting injured either. I don't.
Nope.
But if they are gonna get injured, I would rather them be transported somewhere where they could actually possibly receive the medical care needed to save their life. And Sri Lanka actually has some decent hospitals.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna get that kind of stuff on a thing. But these guys are more like Civil War doctors, and that's just amputate. Let's just amputate. We don't know what the hell we're doing here. Anyway, guys, carrying on. If you got any comments on that, please send them our way. 3, 2, 1, getting started. Briefing and escalation. So we're going to fast forward to today's Pentagon briefing. Hegseth and Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane laid it out very, very cold, and I quote, 4 days in, we have only just begun to fight. That's what Hegseth said. Quote, we are accelerating, not decelerating, end quote. Key claims. Over 2,000 of targets have been hit since Saturday. 4 days. Command centers, missile sites, airfields, radar, nuclear adjacent facilities. Iran's Air Force and Navy knocked out or severely devastated. Quote, in a few days, the two most powerful air forces in the world, U.S. and Israel, will have complete control of Iranian skies. Uncontested airspace, end quote. More warplanes are inbound. F-35s are already scoring kills. This is actually interesting, too. Bell and John would love this one, including an Iranian, you ready for this, John? Yak-130 fighter over Tehran in the first combat air-to-air victory for the platform. An F-35 shot down a Yak-130, the very first air-to-air victory for that particular plane. Strikes are spreading. Massive overnight waves on Tehran itself. Revolutionary Guard headquarters, militia sites, leadership bunkers. Israel's pushing hard, too. There are ground operations in southern Lebanon against Hezbollah. Mass civilian evacuations are ordered. Fresh rocket exchanges. The war is no longer contained to Iran. It's engulfing the region. And what was Hegseth's tone? It was no mercy. Quote, Iran is paying for their crimes against America, end quote. He even revealed U.S. and Israeli forces hunted down and killed the IRGC official behind a 2024 plot to assassinate President Trump. Personal, brutal, and they are promising that the hardest hits are still coming. Now, I'm going to take all of that, Bell, with a grain of salt. And the reason that I do that is because I was actually over in Desert Storm. I was actually out there before it. I was out about 6 months before it, before we actually invaded. I was already out there, so it just suddenly I was part of Desert Shield and then Desert Storm and then continuing resolution or whatever the fuck we called it back then. But I got to listen to the Iraqi Minister of Propaganda, and I got to listen to him nightly, every single night. That was literally my job, was to listen to this stuff. And all he ever talked about was victory against the infidels, victory against the invaders, victory, which is funny because they invaded Kuwait. But all he ever did was put on and talk about their massive success over and over and over. So anytime I hear things like this, Pentagon briefings, they're never going to come out there and say, yeah, boy, we screwed up, Bell. Oh, my goodness. We don't really know what we're doing out here. So I take it as more or less propaganda. And whether it is, this is not sudden. I'm not going to suddenly wake up and say, or go back to sleep and say, boy, I trust everything that's coming out of the U.S. government. I trust every single word. I'm not that kind of guy. I am jaded all the way down. So while I consider what they're putting out there more or less tripe, designed to, inflame Go America and inflame the masses and all that other stuff, it's kind of propaganda. It's kind of psychological warfare. It is what it is. And it's always existed in every single engagement that mankind has ever been in. There's been town criers shouting about victories or defeats and all this other stuff. So I'm not going to take too much out of that. But I also understand overwhelming force. And I assure you that we have overwhelming force over there against Iran right now. We are talking about two very, very powerful air forces. Now, hearkening back to something that New Type was pinging me on yesterday. I don't know if he's listening or not, about American boots on ground. Okay. There's a realism in warfare, and it's been this way forever. All right. You're heavy. As long as we've had planes and tanks. Planes and tanks take territory, but they cannot keep territory. That's not their job. Troops, ground troops, boots on ground, that is what holds territory. So while I appreciate what America is doing as far as the Air Force and the Israeli Air Force and all that other good stuff, you can blow up everything that you want, but you can't hold the ground. You need troops in there to hold the ground. And it makes me really wonder, is this ground that we're really trying to hold? I mean, is this something where all of a sudden we want to come in there and appoint new leaders and build new bullshit empires around? Because this is shit that the CIA does, and they did it 50 years ago. All right, it's not been successfully done since. The world has moved on. And my hope is that at least America understands that we don't, there is no empire building anymore. You could try economic pressure, sanctions, all that other good stuff, but
that's already been done.
It's already been done, and the effect has been questionable. But you can't hold territory without troops, and I don't see any world in which we start sending in American ground forces in there, because the optics would be, one, absolutely awful, and two, it would completely destroy Trump's legacy of the guy that says no prolonged wars, no prolonged anything. And once troops hit the ground over there, all of America's military industrial complex, you bet your ass they can't wait to support something like that. And they hope it goes on for 10 years like it did in fucking Afghanistan, because they're getting paid while this happens. They love it. And I just can't see a scenario in which we enter into something like that. So we can decimate their military. Let's be real here. Even for the apologists that are out there on X and Twitter and all that, there is nothing that they can do to stop this. Do you have a 4,000 fighter jet military? I know you don't. So there's effectively nothing that you can do to this. The second you spin up a radar, somebody's on their way. It takes us 5 seconds to triangulate. And we can do it faster than that. Something's on its way. One of these fighters that are over here is on its way. It's going to blow the shit out of it. Not some of the time, all of the time. So there is effectively nothing that they can do to stop the airstrikes. Nothing. So it really makes me wonder and goes to motive for me for a lot of this, Bell. No, I don't trust the United States government. I don't trust the Israeli government. So it kind of makes me wonder. Now, Iran has been shouting death to America for a real long time. They FA'd and now they're FOing. You know, I mean, that's just, you know, it is what it is. And I think this has been a long time coming. But for what it's worth, Iran could be a very, very good ally. But they're never going to be to all of Western civilization, not just the U.S., but to Canada, Mexico, everybody that's not in that region. They would be an excellent ally, excellent trade partners, a lot of oil, a lot of resources, a lot of everything. They would be an excellent trading partner, but it's never going to happen as long as you have Ayatollahs up there. But you cannot win a religious war. You can't. As soon as you kill the father, you just turned him into a martyr, and the son is going to pick up his rifle. So unless you're prepared to commit genocide, then this will just go over and over and over unless the people of Iran, the citizenry of Iran, rise up, throw them out, and find their courage. Because remember, Bell, the Tytler cycle, liberty. But it starts in bondage, spiritual awakening to courage to liberty. Right now, they're in bondage. So they need their spiritual awakening to find their courage to achieve their liberty. And I'm not sure if something like that is possible. What do you got to add to that, Bill?
All right. So, number one, the statement that you listened to, yeah, it was propaganda. There is no doubt about that. The one grain of truth in all of that is, yeah, this is gonna, yeah, the efforts are gonna intensify. They've got to. As soon as they launched an attack on Iran, as soon as they made that decision, the clock literally started ticking down. There's 60 days. 60. And that clock has been ticking for a few days now. So there's that. And then without approval from Congress, it's not going to continue.
Well, you know what's wonderful about that, Belle, is the perfect segue that you just gave me, unbeknownst to you, because you haven't seen this.
Bear with me, though.
Okay.
Bear with me.
All right.
I'm not done with my point. So right now, okay, they're trying to get everyone hyped up. That way people who are in favor of this, email their senators and their congressmen. And yeah, they get the support needed. I don't think that's going to happen because, again, it goes back to the, no prolonged war. So I don't think that is going to come to pass.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the point of this is for anybody to swoop in and take Iran's territory. I do think that it's actually going to be up to the people of Iran to take it back for themselves.
Yeah, and again, where I said that was an excellent segue because Belle never sees my monologues. I just got to do my thing, and then she reacts to them. Today, Democrats pushed a war powers resolution, force congressional approval or withdrawal within days. Republicans shut it down in the Senate just this afternoon, 47-53. No limits. Trump gets a free hand. Lindsey Graham and the GOP majority framed it as support for the mission. Critics call it a blank check for endless war. But either way, it's a massive political victory for the administration amid defections and cost concerns. The House version faces a vote tomorrow, and it's likely going to be the same fate. This hands President Trump and Hexeth the green light to keep pounding. What I'm saying is that there is no off-ramp in sight. Now, we talked about this last night. We talked about the War Powers Act of 1973 and how you guys had 53 years. I'm talking to the House, talking to the Senate, talking to the judiciary. If you didn't like it, you had 53 years to do something about it, but you didn't. And I would have to ask if there happened to be a Democrat president in there right now. Well, one, we wouldn't be attacking Iran. We'd be sending them more planes full of money because that's what we do, right? That's what they do. They love to appease. But would you guys be trying to limit the War Powers Act at that time? Would you be doing that? It's a fair question. Anyway, I got two more things that I want to get to. But, Belle, if we have any questions or comments on the three that we've covered, and that is funny that you mentioned the War Powers Act. And yeah, that just died in the Senate, man. It ain't going anywhere. He's got 55 more days to bomb whatever he wants to bomb. Belle, please.
All right. So I'm skipping around tonight, guys. So don't fault me here. New type. What is Scott's opinion on why we lost to Vietnam? Was it asymmetrical warfare? And could we see a similar result once we have boots on ground with Iran?
We're not going to have boots on ground with Iran, man. We're just not. Look, if it's that important to Israel, send in the IDF. I mean, that's it. But I don't see a scenario in which we mobilize 600,000 troops and push them into Iran. Why? The only reason that we would do something like that is for regime change. And yes, I do believe that they need a regime change. But something like this, if you want a lasting peace, if you want a lasting trade partner, they have to do it themselves, man. All right? America cannot do it for them. We tried it in Iraq, didn't work. We tried it in Afghanistan, didn't work. We tried it in Vietnam, didn't work. All right? How many times do you have to get kicked in the balls before you say, yeah, maybe I should not get kicked in the balls anymore? And I don't think Trump is a guy that's going to break away and say, fuck it, everybody did it wrong, I'm going to do it right. I don't see that's happening. I know your position, bro. You made it real clear. But I'm saying I don't see the scenario in which we do send them in, because that is empire building. And that is, 50s, 60s, 70s shit. We don't do that anymore. It doesn't work. It doesn't last. This is for the people of Iran, at least the leadership in Iran. This is a holy war, and they are more than happy to die as martyrs. So I don't see the advantage of that. Now, am I going to be completely obtuse here and stupid and say, yeah, we don't have special operation guys in there right now? I guarantee you we have spec op guys in there right now. I guarantee you the CIA has operatives in there right now. For fuck's sake, it's literally what they do. But as far as private Tabitha that is suddenly picking up a rifle and marching across Iran, I don't see that happening. I just don't. So I appreciate the question there, bro. And I do. Trust me, man. Look, I'm not stupid. This is not day one for me. But I don't really see that happening. Can we lend support to whatever civilian uprising might happen, knock out military stuff? Sure, we can do that. We're real good at that. If there's only thing that the government, United States government, is very good at, it's blowing shit up. We do that tremendously well. But for the rest of it, changing, hearts and minds, that's not really our thing. I appreciate the question, Bo. Go ahead and get on back to your thing.
I'm gonna throw out that there's and you'd be foolish if you don't believe these people are there. You are literally going to have people going in with a letter of marque just to do what our troops cannot.
We haven't.
Okay? I guarantee you they are there.
We haven't done that. Letters of marque. We haven't done that in a long time. We haven't gave private publicly. list. We haven't given a lot of privateer licenses. Go out and sink Iranian ships. In fact, we'll give you a bounty for it. We haven't done that in a long time. But yeah, maybe it's time to revisit that. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
All right, so new type. Wait, so Scott is now agreeing with me that we will see troops deployed to Iran, or he just hopes I'm wrong, which I also hope I'm wrong. That was earlier.
Okay. I was like, where did you hear that? Where did you hear me say that we would put troops in Iran? It seems like I've been pretty steady on this point, bro. No.
It was a very loose possibility regarding his comments from last night.
Okay.
So if we were.
Yeah. Carry on, Bill.
But yeah, anyway, or that he just hopes I'm wrong. Well, I mean, of course we all hope you're wrong. Do I want to see... We're already losing troops just in the region. I mean, come on. We don't want any more of those.
Yeah, and a couple of guys were killed over in Kuwait. There was like 3 or 4 of them, and they were from the Iowa National Guard, of all things. I tune in for notifications on that because I'm an Iowa guy, and I like to know what the boys are up to. And yeah, like 4 of them got smoked over there. So yeah, I mean, shit happens. Anyway, do we got anything else, Bell, or can I carry on?
New type. Y'all ready for a head turner? Scott or Bill, what's it called when a president delays an election due to war? Y'all think we could see Trump pull that card so that he can run a 3rd term?
No.
His health will not stand up for that.
I'm going to go full screen on this one. No. I know you like to entertain new type. I know you like to entertain these crazy scenarios. In this case, no, it won't happen, but I appreciate it. All right, one more, Bell, and I got to carry on.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going on that. Okay. Trump's already got very notable lymphedema happening. His circulation is not great. He is getting older. There is no way he could possibly go for a 3rd term. Yeah, using the using that kind of action. There's no way at all.
Shall I carry on, Bell? We got dead air here for a second. Shall I carry on? All right. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and carry on because we got 2 more things we want to ping on here, and we're only down to a few minutes. Succession crisis. Now, the heart of the storm. Iran's leadership vacuum. Supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was assassinated Saturday in the opening salvo. Funeral has been postponed. I wonder why. Assembly of experts building in Qom was bombed where successors are chosen. So there was black smoke visible saying that a new leader has been chosen, but it wasn't the way that the Catholics do it. Just putting that out there. The hardliners are scrambling. Reports say an interim leadership council has taken over temporarily because the existing council met with bombs. Israel already warned, whoever steps up becomes an unequivocal target for elimination, and you got to know that. So the death toll inside of Iran. Iranian sources say over 1,000 killed, including hundreds of civilians. Of course they do. Human rights groups put it higher, 1,097 civilians alone. But I equate that to X. Strikes hitting schools and residential areas near targets. The regime's grip is cracking, and opposition forces are moving. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting. I'm talking directly to you, new type. Kurdish groups launched a ground offensive from Iraq into Iran, armed, possibly U.S.-backed, but we don't know. If you had to ask me, are they U.S.-backed? Probably. I mean, come on, man, the CIA. Post-regime planning is already underway in Washington. This isn't just degrading capabilities. It's decapitation and potential collapse. So I happen to find that particular one very, very interesting. Does the United States use proxy fighters? Bell, you bet your ass we do. We always have. And you were already talking about people like the Kurds that have with Iran. So it ain't real hard to get them some AKs, to get them some ammo, to get them some grenades and say, go for it. Particularly with Iran's military degraded to the point where it is right now. It just seems like it's ripe for a little military assistance. And yes, I'm not going to say that the U.S. was not involved because it really, really seems like something that we would do. I'm just kind of putting that out there. But
it's been known to happen
over and over and over. I mean, it's not like it's the first time. Oh my God, U.S. did something like that. We would never do anything like that. We have the Central Intelligence Agency, which only exists outside or supposed to exist. I'm looking at you, Jeff. Outside of the United States of America, outside of our borders. And this is literally what they do. I mean, we're sitting there paying this massive agency for shit like exactly this. So it seems like when game time comes around that they're going to rise up and say, we got you. So I'm not wishing for harm on anybody. I'm really not. I wish people would just be cool and just smoke some grass, man. All right. Whatever's bothering you ain't going to bother you that much longer. It's like, it'll keep. So I would love to have a world like that, man, but we don't have that kind of world. We have the world that we see on X and MSNBC and CNN and ABC and Fox News. That's the world that we're dealing with and that we're living with. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of subterfuge and bullshit that is going on during that. So are we arming the Kurds? Probably. Now, here's the funny part. Let me finish the entire thought. Will those weapons be used against U.S. troops sometime in the future? Probably, because history tells us that that's exactly what happens. But America is really, really good about not learning from their own mistakes. So, yes, the Kurds are in Iran right now. This shit is unraveling faster than anybody could possibly predict. But I noticed that I don't see any protests about the Kurds moving into Iran. I noticed that the signs didn't change. You know, I noticed that the signs haven't changed. No to Kurds, no to Kurds. I noticed that didn't happen yet. But maybe give them a couple days and maybe that'll show up. Anything? You got anything to add there, Bill? Because we got one more to get to.
You've got a lot of people, a lot of normal citizens in Iran that have watched relatives be stoned to death, beheaded, burned alive. I mean, you've literally got a list of egregious casualties from the religious Iranian government. People are tired of it. They've been tired of it. They've been sick. They've been depressed. It's disgusting. Okay. They haven't had the tools to actually fight back. So you give some of the people who are the most sick of this the ability to fight back against this, and change happens.
Yeah, and
funny how that works.
It is. And the funny part is that, people talk about stoning and they throw it out very casually. You know what my very last deployment was, right? And who I was with. And I was watching this stuff on a 120-foot screen. And for those of you who have never seen a stoning, it will haunt you. It still haunts me to this very day. They don't start with the head, babe. They start with the lower back, the big-ass rock that slammed into your lower back that breaks your spine so that you can't move, so that you can't crawl away. You're effectively paralyzed at that point. And then they start from the feet and work their way up. The very last rock goes to your head. That's the coup de grace. But you feel everything on the way up. And the sick part is that they will have 5 or 6 people lined up, and they're always women. We don't stone men. We shoot men. We only stone women. At least over in that region, we only stone women. So the one in the hole next to you has to listen to you before it's your turn. Now imagine if you were number 6. Imagine if you're number 6 sitting in that hole waiting for your turn to go through that. This is precisely what happens over there. I've seen it with my own eyes, and it haunts me to this day. If you want to know why I am so biased the way I'm biased, it's because I saw it. So I appreciate the input. I love the questions. But if you haven't really been through that yourself, just give me a little bit of a break on my retorts on things like that, because I've been there, because I've seen it, and because it's horrifying. The best thing that you could do for those people that are sitting in those holes is drop about 15 Hellfire missiles right on the entire thing and just raise it all. Trust me, you're doing them a favor. All right, Bell, one more, and then we will get to whatever questions are remaining. I like this format, by the way, Bell. I just looked and I saw the time, and I was like, holy God, we've already gone an hour. All right. Last little bit here, guys, and then we will kind of move on. I don't want to do it as a smiling thing because this did happen. First confirmed U.S. deaths: at least 6 service members, including 4 named from an Army Reserve unit in a Kuwait port strike. The 4 that were named were from the Iowa National Guard. Hezbollah is ramping up in Lebanon. Rockets into Israel. Israeli incursions. The Strait of Hormuz is now a pressure point, and it will always be. Iran warning of mining operations or attacks. Oil prices are spiking. Markets are dipping, not just in the U.S., across the entire world. Supply chains are trembling because it all moves on oil. Evacuations are massive. Nearly 18,000 Americans are fleeing the Middle East if they can get a flight out. Embassies are closing or operating with skeleton crews across the region. Global airlines are rerouting. Asia markets plunging. The human cost? Thousands displaced in Lebanon. Children among the dead in Iran. This war is young, guys, but the body count is climbing fast. So here we are, guys. Day 5. A historic torpedo kill. Air dominance on the horizon. A Senate green light. Iran leaderless and bleeding. And retaliation is spreading. The world, it's holding its breath right now. So I ask you, members of the podcast, is this the beginning of the end for the Islamic Republic, or is this the spark for something much wider? Now, Trump says, whatever it takes. Hexa says it's just getting started. Iran vows prolonged resistance. Now, we're going to keep watching, and we will keep breaking it down. I would love to hear your takes right there in the chat. What's the next move? Is it a ground invasion? Is it a negotiations? Or is it a wider war? For God's sakes, they shot missiles at Turkey. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to this. We're going to get to whatever's left. Belle, if you could do your thing, let's talk it up and let's finish it up.
All right. So at the beginning of the stream, Sigia fan drop in the comment, one of the targets destroyed by Iran of ours was a 1.1 billion piece of air defense targeting site per satellite images they posted. Or per Chinese satellite images they posted.
Yeah, and that I obviously I can't speak to that, bro. I'm not there. If I was there, I would take some pictures on my cell phone and post them on the podcast Discord. They're conflicting reports. Maybe that's kind of where it is, because you have conflicting reports. Some saying they hit it, some saying they missed, but there is damage to the area. I don't know, bro. I'm not there. And will we ever get a solid confirmation? No. If it was destroyed, the American military, the American government's not going to admit it. And if it wasn't, Iran is going to claim that it was. This is called PSYOP, psychological operations, and it's as important to the art of war. I hate to say that, Bell, but you know it is what it is. It's important to the art of war as anything else. So take anything that's coming out from the Iranian regime, from the American government, take it all with a grain of salt, man. All right? Unless you were there, you really don't know. Hope that answered the question, Bell. Carry on.
All right. So next comment, actually regarding notifications. G Torres, yeah, I'm the same way. I try to disable notifications for most apps, but since it will be a lot harder to get spammed on Sigia now, I'll keep them on. It makes sense to keep.
Yeah, man, completely up to you. Bell, carry on, please.
All right, Mackenzie. Usually it's overkill regarding notifications. Sigia seems low key. I like the idea of toggles.
Yeah, man. Siggy is low key, and you will have toggles. Thanks for the comment, bro. Carry on, Bill.
All right, Sigia fan. Some apps have notification hours. Since we're worldwide, that's gonna be pretty tough to do.
Yeah.
I mean, your device has notification hours, but if you don't set those correctly, you get weird things happening, like one background screen that you use during the day changes to something different at night, and then you can't change it back.
Let's just say it's not on our roadmap at this time. Bell, carry on.
All right, so Fisherman, talking about notifications. I do push notifications for Sigia chat, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. No,
Valid.
Fair enough, man. Carry on, Bill.
Fisherman again. CIA has this. The plan is in place for what's next.
I have no idea, bro. I can't even begin to comment on it. Look, man, I'm no fan of the CIA. I'm no fan of the FBI. I'm no fan of any big government agency. So whatever they're going to do or not do, man, for them, it seems, academic and wargamey. For me, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So I can't really comment on that one, bro. Are you right? Probably, but I don't like to wildly speculate on things that I really have nothing to do with, and in this case, this is something that I have really nothing to do with. But yeah, you're probably on the right track, but I don't know. Val, carry on.
I'm gonna touch on that for a bit. The CIA may have a plan. Again, we can't know. They're not gonna come out and advertise it. But what I will say is Iran did not change to the government they've had for my entire life until 1979. There are people who remember what life was like before Sharia law was widely instituted. And, while they could live with it for a while, again, they're tired of it. They remember what life was like before. And that's an asset in this.
I hope so. But you were talking about 50 years. There's entire generations that have known nothing but Sharia law, nothing but the Islamic Republic. So I don't know, Belle. But anyway, carry on, please.
It's hard to say. That was actually the last one for the moment.
Beautiful. I'm just going to leave it on you, Belle. If you could talk us up, take us out. You guys want to do us a favor, man? Leave some feedback. Do you like this format? Is this something that works for you? Or would you like us to simply stick to crypto? We're comfortable in either environment, but we want to do a show that you guys want to watch. So if you're comfortable with this particular format, it seems like it flowed really well for us, for me and for Belle and all that stuff. But we want to know how it flows for you, man. We're not here to talk at you. We're here to talk with you. So if you could leave some comments, comment on the video after this goes live, whatever you want to do. We're going to read each and every one of them. We're going to take it to heart. I certainly appreciate your time. Belle, if you could, talk us up. Take us out.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen who watched us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you send our way. Now, with that being said, we are going to be back on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and tomorrow, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott at thepodcast.com or Bella at thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.